latest handsets lacking some type of image stabilization, sometimes it can be difficult to achieve the perfect shake-free photos and video. So this is where a gimbal comes in handy, and in this video we're going to take a look at this cheery little device. My name's Mr. West, and this is the Feiyu Tech Vimble C gimbal review. The Vimble C works by securing your phone into its built-in mount and keeping it steady through the use of a 3-axis motor system which keeps your phone in a stable position at all times. Using Bluetooth with its custom app, this allows your smartphone to take control of the gimbal to achieve some really steady and smooth photos and video. No matter how you move the gimbal, the phone stays upright and is free of any camera shake, meaning images are rock solid and video has that butter smooth professional look. The design of the Vimble C is really well thought out, with an ergonomic grip handle which allows your hand to flow around its shape for a more comfortable experience. It's well weighted too, and at 420 grams can handle smartphones of up to 200 grams in weight. In use to suffer no hand fatigue no matter which way you use the gimbal. There's a 4-way direction stick at the front which allows complete control over the motors, with a dedicated shutter, play, pause button for the camera control which is fast and accurate. At the rear, your index finger can rest on the control toggle, and this allows you to access the zoom function of your camera and switch between different modes when you need. Contained within the gimbal is an unspecified built-in lithium-ion battery. This is good for up to 5 hours of use, and one handy feature is the ability to connect a power bank so you can continue using the gimbal whilst you're out and about. The only drawback is the fiddly micro USB charging cover and the narrow charging slot, which makes it tricky to use anything other than the supplied inbox cable. Finally, around the top of the handle is a brace of indicators which show you the operating status. Green is good to go and red for recharge time. Up top of the business end of the gimbal is a 3-axis motor arm, and besides looking really cool when it's fired up, does an awesome job of keeping your phone stable and upright, with the motors being whisper quiet in motion. They let you know when they're working with a gentle rumble which can be felt through the handle, but it's in no way obtrusive and never uncomfortable. Movement is butter smooth, and stops and starts are quick with a nice inertia, which means when you start panning there's not a huge jolt through your camera. So first up is the camera mode. This allows control over the usual settings such as exposure and focus, with the latter allowing you to select several areas such as fixed, macro or infinite focus. You don't have to use the app though, you can still connect the gimbal via Bluetooth and use your stock camera app if you wish. Either way, results with stills are good, and the added bonus of stability is great, especially when using the 2x mode on the OnePlus 5. Also for perfect panoramas, there's a dedicated mode which makes good use of the joystick control to help you shoot the perfect panorama, allowing a smooth and stitch-free shot without making your body look like it's about to bust into a yoga move. Now onto video, and this is where the Vimble really comes into its own. Although most new flagships have some form of stabilization, more uneven terrain can still cause the finished video to look bumpy, and this is where the Vimble C really comes into its own. Using the Galaxy S8 as my subject, itself no slouch in the imaging department, I'll demonstrate the results in 4K mode with and without the gimbal on some uneven ground to really show the benefits of the stabilization offered. Alright, so Galaxy S8, 1440p front camera mode. This is without the gimbal, so let's go. We're going to do a lap around the bench which you'll see in the background in a moment, so let's go. So this is pretty bumpy terrain. It's very uneven because it's this common is kind of built into an old mountain, so here we go. So again, the ground's really unsteady. I'm trying not to drop the gimbal out of my pocket. Okay, so bench is here. So I'm looking at the image and I can see it's very unsteady behind me. It's doing a good job of keeping the detail on my big fat face, but I'm just going to keep going. Okay, so really back where we started. So once we stop, I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to mount the Galaxy S8 into the gimbal, and then we're going to give it a try again. Okay, so phone's attached into the gimbal now, so if I sort of swing the gimbal around you can just see the movement, but it does keep everything reasonably stable. So I'm just going to go on the same route. I'm going to have to use the joystick control just to keep everything moving, as you can see there. So here we go with the gimbal. Let's see if this smooths things out. And you can see immediately, if you look to the image left and right, the gimbal's doing a really excellent job of smoothing out my footsteps. So the way the gimbal works is that when you've obviously got the phone attached, held in your hand, transfers all the movement from your feet through your lower arm, which gives you the shakiness. So let's just move around. Okay, so we can just stop, move around. There's the bench we passed earlier, so we're just going to carry on going. And we're done. Okay, so I'm going to switch the camera now from selfie mode and then put it into main camera. What we're going to do is just put it into 4K UHD mode. Now the stabilization does work really well on the main camera, but we'll give it a go anyway, and then we'll do it with and without the gimbal. So it's going to be without the gimbal first of all, and this is kind of creeping around a bit. There we go. So just going to attach and see how it goes. Here we go. Okay, so now we're in handheld mode, back main camera. You can see the bench there. We're just going to do a quick lap again. This is 4K UHD mode, so stabilization should work in this mode as well. So we're just going to take a quick stroll around, and then we're going to attach to the gimbal when we reach this spot again and see the differences. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so the big pothole steps you can see are not on purpose. This is actually very bumpy terrain. This makes a perfect training ground for the gimbal. So we're just going to keep going. So trying to keep things as steady as we can. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can tell this, but this is an extremely bumpy piece of the common, which is why I chose it. Great demonstration of the gimbal. Okay, so attached to the gimbal now, just tilting around with the joystick. I will have to make some very fine adjustments while I'm doing this, but so we're going to lap around the bench again. Let's see how well this fares now. Now, again, it's really bumpy. So again, as I explained, the gimbal doesn't transfer any of the movement from my legs to my lower arm, so hopefully it keeps everything steady, and the 3-axis movements and the brushless motors on the top should keep everything nice and steady. So here we go. And immediately you can see just how smooth everything is with the gimbal attached. So you can just about see the movement of my legs as I'm moving around. Wow, check out that silhouette of the sun. So we're just nearing the end of this. Try my best not to slip up, but the gimbal's doing an amazing job of smoothing out those bumpy footsteps. Okay, so we're finished. So that's the Galaxy S8, front and rear cameras with and without gimbal. Downsides? Well, the built-in software does have some spelling and grammar issues, and I did have to call Feiyu Tech help to the rescue after a software update rendered the gimbal a floppy failure. Peace was restored, but I would suggest updating the gimbal over USB using your laptop or PC for the best results. Also, the claimed 5-hour battery life is a bit off the mark. I averaged around 2 hours over a morning of filming, so I would imagine you get closer to the 5-hour mark under more casual use.
This is weird.
So, is the Vimble C worth your consideration? Well, if you're the type of person who likes to shoot lots of video in places where terrain has seen better days, or you absolutely must have the smoothest and most stable shots possible, the Vimble C is an absolute gem. While most phones nowadays have optical or electronic software stabilization, for those phones not blessed with this feature, the Vimble C is a great purchase. Coming in at around half the cost of the DJI Osmo Mobile, this makes a great alternative, and all crude software aside, I absolutely loved using it. It's a lot of fun, but it's also genuinely useful, and if you're in the market for such a device, then the Vimble C series gimbal will certainly prove to be a worthy companion. I'll be posting a video of some of the best footage I captured with Vimble C soon, so you can see the great results for yourselves, but for now, if you've got any questions, then we'll catch up in the comment section. Don't forget to click the like button if you enjoyed this, and also subscribe for more great content coming soon. So until next time folks, this has been my review of the Feiyu Tech Vimble C series gimbal. My name's Mr. West, and I'll catch you guys later.